Hey everybody, George Gill here from Gill Media. Thanks for joining me. Today I want to talk to you about three critical steps to online marketing strategies that lead to successful campaigns. Now, this isn't rocket science per se, but I got to tell you, this stuff is often stuff that is forgotten, that is left out. And I'm going to tell you why when we get to step number 2, which really kind of emphasizes the outside steps that need to be focused on before you launch any campaign. Okay, so in this video, we're going to consider some easy fundamentals, things that you can apply to your business right now, and that's critical. We don't want another make work project. We just want to improve how we're doing things currently. We're also going to look at the order or the process that we should take when we're applying these fundamentals. And then the absolute failure zone. Forget this and you will fail. So this one's kind of the big one. This is what everybody seems to leave out in the entire mix. So essentially that's what we're going to look at. So let's get going. Okay, so critical step number 1, you need a goal. You need a next step. You know, I love that saying that if you don't know where you're going, then really any road will take you there. You need to know what the goal of your campaign is, but more importantly, not just the end goal, because that might be easy, right? You might say, George, come on, that's easy stuff. What's my goal? I want more leads. I want more sales. I want more traffic. You know, those are the big goals, and absolutely they count. But you actually got to break it down into next steps. And if you think about this kind of like dating, you don't want to get ahead of yourself, right? There's this courtship period you got to go through. Do you like me, you know? And hey, let me open the door for you and let me take you to dinner, that kind of thing. Before we actually kiss, right? So before that prospect or that potential ideal client becomes your client, you really got to go through a few other steps. And those next steps are independent goals. So for example, let's say, for example, your goal is to get leads, new leads. Well, a step in that process might be creating yourselves or representing yourself as an authority on a topic. So if we take dating, for example, as the topic, and you want to sell a training program, but you need new ideal prospects to come into your funnel, your sales funnel, then, you know, maybe giving some free advice, like a video like this, right, that kind of sets you as the authority on dating is a good lead-up step. You know, I've introduced you to me. Now I'm going to teach you a little for free. Goodwill, reciprocal goodwill, right? So these are all steps, next steps. Each step is a goal in itself, okay? And you really need to define those goals and those next steps. Okay, when you're doing this, you need to know who you're speaking to. You need to know who your ideal customer is. What do they need to know? So for example, if we go back to that dating example, and you know, you want to help people get more dates, meet more people, etc., then, you know, what's that person challenged with? What are they struggling with? Maybe they're shy, and your ideal customer is somebody who's, you know, male or female between the ages of 25 and 35, and they're super shy. So you need to talk right to them, specifically to them. So I've set up that goal, and now I'm going to talk to that particular ideal customer in the process. Okay, critical step number 2 is the strategy. You know what? Everyone thinks of this one. This is what you think of. Oh, I need more traffic. I need more leads. What strategy am I going to use? Am I going to run a newspaper ad? Am I going to run Google AdWords? Am I going to get on Facebook? You know, what is going to be the strategy? And there are no limit to strategies, right? But if I know my ideal customer, then it does narrow the field a little. And that's really what you want to do. You want to understand that if my customer is this demographic, for example, then they're likely to be found in this spot, okay, on Facebook, in this group, or on LinkedIn, in these groups or projects. So you need to know where they are, because if you try and attack all of them, then you're just going to get lost, right? You're just going to get lost. You're going to do all of them just okay, none of them great. But if you focus, if you laser focus, you're going to be able to talk specifically to that customer. Okay? Now, really critical point here. As much as this is critical step number 2 to decide the channel, and that channel should be where your ideal customer's hanging out, this is part of the process. This is not the process in itself. And so many people get this wrong. So many people think, I'm on Facebook, it's just not working. But they didn't set goals. So what's not working? Okay, and they didn't do critical step number 3, which we're going to talk about in a second. So make no mistake, this is a tool. Okay, it is not a strategy in itself. Okay, it's a step. That's it. Okay, so choosing that channel, and of course, you need to test that channel. You need to test it, and you need to give it a certain amount of time, but test everything about it so that you can improve on it. Okay, it's about finesse. There's no set thing in stone in marketing, right? There's no, oh my gosh, that's the silver bullet that's going to do it, right? It's refinement. Okay, it's testing, it's adjusting, it's fine tuning. Okay. Now, when you set up those goals and you apply the strategy, you want to play chess. You want to play chess and have a funnel, okay? That has calculated steps that drive me to the next goal. So my end goal might be leads for, say, a dating live event, training event that I want to sell you. Well, if I'm starting way back here and the very first goal is to get you introduced to me, so I want to drive you to a free report or a free guide to how to get your first date or whatever the case may be, how to get over your 5 top fears, any of these things that get you introduced to me. That's goal number 1. And that would be at the top of the funnel that we're looking at, right? That would be right up at the top. I'm pointing at it, but I should be, kind of highlighting it there. That would be at the top of the funnel. The next component might be selling you something, a really small, inexpensive something that I can really wow you with. So maybe I give you a free 12-step process to improve on the date experience. And I really give you lots of value in that first little product that I sell you for a very inexpensive price. And then maybe the final step, those that buy, some people are dropping out of the funnel as we go, but those that bought that product are now used to me. They're okay. They're comfortable buying from me. They like the value I gave them. So I'm going to move them to the next step. What's the next step? Well, that's easy. The next step is the big sale, right? Because I've brought you in and I've nurtured you through. Okay, so make sure in that strategy, that tool that you're using, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's SEO, whether it's a newspaper ad, whether it's a radio ad, whichever part that you're funneling me through, make sure that we're moving along the funnel process. Okay, and it's just like a game of chess as you move forward. Okay, step number 3, and very, very, very possibly the most important step, critical step number 3, is you need to measure everything. You need to measure success. And I like that line as opposed to measure failures, because you will have more failures than successes, okay? Anybody watch baseball, the averages of some of the greatest hitters on the planet are hitting less than 500, right? So that's less than 50% of all times they swing the bat. Do they actually hit anything? Okay, and those are the greatest of the great, right? So measuring success is a critical component. Now, this goes beyond just going ahead and, setting up Google Analytics, okay? Mind you, I'm a big proponent of Google Analytics because it's an amazing tool and it's free, okay? The software is free. But you can't just set it up and expect it to just, feed you information. You have to learn how to utilize it. And certainly 3 things you really need to do is set up your goals. Number 1, you need to construct your campaigns within Google Analytics so that you can measure and fine tune, right? Because we got to measure everything. And really take on this belief, take on the adamant belief and absolute policy that you don't do a thing online unless you're measuring it, right? Otherwise, just burn your money. Just take your money, take your effort, take your resources, and just burn them because you're wasting them, okay? Because I guarantee you will not get it right 100% anytime, right? There's always room for improvement. But if you're not measuring it, how can you improve it, right? So very, very critical. When you set up those campaigns, you need to establish some acceptable levels, right? So if I'm going to send people to an opt-in form to give them that initial free report, I want to set up what my goals are for conversion. Okay, now that's not quite as important as improvement, head it in the right direction. So after I have a certain amount of traffic, and that's a level, maybe I want to see 500 people as an initial hit to that page to see if I need to tweak it or improve it. Let's say, for example, I send 500 people, and that's my guideline, that's my level, and I have a conversion of 10%, and I'm happy with it. Or maybe I was expecting 20. Well, then I can tweak it and see how it does, okay? Now, second, I have measurement of time frame. You can change that. That can be measurement of quantity too, but there has to be metrics there. And you need to note your changes, right? Don't do too many at once. So when I have that measurement, I'm going to start tweaking. Just make fine-tune adjustments and note those changes right in Google Analytics so you can watch the effect of that, okay? Really critical. So if you'd like more information on how to use Google Analytics and the power of it, I got a free ebook for you. It's the 5 essential steps proven to skyrocket marketing results. Go to GgoogleAnalyticsTutorials.com and opt in right there on that page, and I'm going to send you out that free ebook. It's really good. I think you'll enjoy it, and you'll also get on our list for free tips and additional free information. So in summary, set your goals. Establish your strategy, and that's a channel, that's a tool. It's not the campaign itself. And then measure everything. You do those 3 things. You change that right now about your marketing, and I guarantee you're going to start seeing some positive results just by doing that. Okay? All right. So again, head over to www.googleanalyticstutorials.com. Get your free ebook, 5 Essential Steps Proven to Skyrocket Marketing Results. My name's George Gill from Gill Media. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again real soon.